I think that's probably why I haven't seen this movie, because that seems kind of crazy, kind of elaborate to do a hit. I didn't know that mob hitmen were acrobats and stuntmen. It just seems like a lot of unnecessary work to get your message across.
Our feet may swiftly carry out thy command, so we shall flow a river forth to thee, and teeming with souls shall it ever be.
I don't know a lot of Irish mobsters that talk like that. It's like a little bit of what, the brogue? You know, most of them were born here. You know, they don't come over from Dublin or anything like that. Maybe I met one or two. I'm not quite sure. It was a long time ago with that, but I'm giving it a 2.
Right, that's enough.
Yeah, just like that, I was one of hell.
So a lot of people believe that Whitey Bulger was part of the Winter Hill Gang. He was at the beginning. I don't think I would ever say he was the leader of the Winter Hill Gang. He was the leader of the Bulger Group, or whatever you want to call it. He was running with the gangs in South Boston. There was a power struggle, and they wanted to iron out those problems, and the ultimate result of it was, hey, let's combine it. You know, why don't we make ourselves strong? Why don't we blend Southie and Winter Hill and make it all one crew? And that's what they did. But in 1978, all of a sudden this huge indictment comes down against the entire Winter Hill Gang. I mean, guys like Whitey, Stevie, Howie, John Martirano, the who's who of the Irish Mafia in 1978. And it's funny because as it was taking its course, you know, these guys either went on the lam or some of them went to jail or were awaiting trial. All of a sudden, you hear the word unindicted co-conspirators when it came to Steve Flemmi and Whitey Bulger. So an unindicted co-conspirator kind of raised a lot of antennas. And again, that's where people fail to realize is that once he eliminates Winter Hill, he becomes the Bulger Group.
I told him everything. The IRA, Cahill, the whole bit.
But you'll be dead before Stevie pulls your teeth.
Accurate. Accurate. He says to Stevie Flemmi, he says, all right, take his teeth out. You know, back in those days, they didn't have DNA. You know, so they would identify bodies by dental records. I think in the movie, too, they refer to a dumping ground where they dumped a lot of bodies, you know, quite a few. I remember when the state police were digging it up. It was bad, it was really bad. I thought Depp was great. Everything down from the, you know, to the walk, to the eyes. You know, Whitey had these eyes that were like grayish blue with like no emotion behind them. And I think you'll see a lot of times in this movie when they show the eyes, like they'll focus specifically on the eyes. They looked pretty good. I'm giving this one an 8. I thought this one was gritty, it was raw, it was pretty accurate.
Ever since you come in the restaurant, you can't stop yakking. It's smoochy this, smoochy that.
I always wore the scally cap, and I was kind of a tracksuit type of guy. Yeah, a lot of Irish guys wear them. It's not a requirement, you know. You know, I just like them.
You're a good boy, Mopes. Don't think we don't remember favors. You're welcome at our place anytime. Come on, boys.
The Irish will work with anybody that's making money, that's willing to work with them. I mean, there was like a big ethnic stew of people. You know, you didn't have to be a certain, you know, religion or, like I said, ethnicity. There was Italians, there was Polish, there was Jewish. If you have talent, you can earn. They don't really care what your last name is or what your religion is. You know, it's about money. You make the money. You know, you can be a, you know, you can be an atheist. I don't know, maybe a 6, 5, right around there.
What the hell?
Transferring them to Rikers. Let's go. Sorry, baby.
If a guy goes to jail, you know, I mean, he's risking that. He's risking losing his family.
We gotta have money, you know, our envelopes.
You're welcome.
There was less in it than what we were expecting. And
So?
Guys go to jail 10, 12, 14 years, and they come out with nothing. And what they come out to is most times their friends have betrayed them and taken over the businesses that they had and never took care of them, never went to their wife and said, hey, you know, here's a little package, you know. I mean, I think you should take care of them. They're supposed to, but don't expect it. You know, you see what this whole organized crime thing has become. Disloyalty, no honor amongst thieves anymore. All everybody wants to do is look out for a number one. I left organized crime because I saw the direction that it was going. I saw guys that lost their families and were betrayed by their best friends, and it was just too much. And I realized that I made the wrong decisions in my life.
How much were you expecting from me? Payments are down.
Well, the collections are down? Who's not paying?
Collections are always down, you know? I mean, most mob guys are great actors, and their best performances are when they're crying poor mouth. We know you did a score for $80,000, but you have no money. You know, you can't even buy a cup of coffee. Come on. In that scene where she was asking for the money, you know, he's got the money, believe me, but not giving it to her. You know, something maybe about a 5.
Yeah, here's a few bucks for you. You're lucky you're getting that. Now, don't sit down here. Get over there. Now, come on, sit down. Man, I'm with you. Hey, can you get him a drink?
You need to talk.
I think it's a great scene. I really do. I mean, they're just hanging out, having a few beers. It seemed like there were other patrons in the place. You know, if you're in a mob bar or a social club or whatever, sometimes they'll just come over to the table and just whisper something in your ear or just say, you know, come to the back room in 10 minutes, I gotta talk to you.
You two are out there on your own, and we don't see a dime?
We've been running around like a couple of errand boys for you for 15 years, and what do we have to show for it? Nothing.
I like the way that the boss let them know that, you know, look, you guys got to kick up. And these guys are saying, they're standing their ground saying, look, we do the scores, man. You know, I got kids to feed. You know, what are we, errand boys? And obviously, if they've been doing it 15 years, they're far from errand boys. Never tell how much money you made on a score, because believe me, people will chase you down. Like, I remember I specifically did one that was really, really big, and it was a windfall. And I had people coming from every direction. As soon as someone hears you did a big score in town, they got their hand out. Most guys live score to score. You know, if you hit a score, you know, you want to take a little time off. You know, you got it, you got the money. We're not setting up IRAs. We're not diversifying our stock portfolios. We're thinking about today. We're thinking about spending that money, because we know that once we run out, just go out and do another one. You know, it's not a long-term business that, you know, you can retire from. You know, that's why you see guys out there that are 75, 80 years old that are still hustling. I'm gonna go probably 8.5.